It is July. I cannot believe that we are officially halfway through 2026. Let me be honest with you, I spent the first half of this year just writing my master thesis and also just laying awake at 2 a.m. wondering if I'm ever gonna be doing something else because it felt like it would take forever. However, I made it. The thesis is submitted as of yesterday. And then I was just sitting there thinking about the next 6 months ahead, and I was like, no, these are gonna be my 6 months. So if you're someone who maybe just feels like the first 6 months of the year just passed by, you didn't achieve as much as you wanted to achieve, you didn't do the things you wanted to do, this video is for you. You know, 6 months is actually a very long time, and it is enough time to actually change the direction of your life. So if you want to make positive changes in your life, build new routines, build new habits, develop a better mindset, just become the best version of yourself, this is what I would do in the next 6 months. And in order for this not to be overwhelming, I just broke it down into 12 micro habits because I know all of you love micro habits. These are things that are really easy to implement. They don't take a lot of time. So literally anyone can do them. Have one priority for the day and actually do it. I feel like a lot of people overcomplicate stuff. We tend to write these 20-point to-do lists with a bunch of things we need to do on a daily basis. And yeah, there might be a lot of things that we need to get done on a daily basis. However, not all of them are a priority. For every single day, you need to set one priority. Think about it this way. What is the one thing you can do on a given day that will genuinely move the needle, that will genuinely change your life in a positive way? This should be your priority. Everything else you can do after you've done your priority. It is also very important to do this priority when you are most rested. So for instance, I tend to do my best work in the morning. And so if I say like writing good YouTube videos is a priority for me, then that's definitely what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna write my YouTube videos first thing in the morning to ensure that they are the best possible quality that there is. And then I can do everything else, like answer emails and all of that. Setting one priority helps with your time management, but it also helps with something else, and I think it's equally important. And this is confidence. A lot of people think that confidence comes from how you look or how you feel about yourself or maybe how you grew up. Some people even think that it's something you're born with or you're not born with. I feel like I could make a whole video about confidence. I mean, I do have some videos that I made about confidence. I will link them down below. The thing about confidence is that it comes from repeatedly keeping promises to yourself and from building self-trust. So by having one priority every single day, and knowing that this is really important for you and actually doing this every single day. It's one thing. It's not overwhelming. It's not a lot. You build self-trust and you build confidence because you show yourself that you are capable. You're capable of being consistent with something and you're capable of working towards your dreams. Because by doing the opposite, you stop trusting yourself. If you keep saying you're going to do something and then you don't do it, you say you're going to go to bed early and then it's like 2 a.m. and you're still there scrolling, or you say you will study for an exam and then you don't, you erode this trust in yourself, you erode this confidence. By having one clear priority, you can work on the self-trust and on your confidence. And I see this as just an amazing side effect of being very clear about your priorities. Do something nice for a circadian rhythm and actually go outside in the morning. I recently got this ring. I will do a full in-depth review about it. But it basically tells me when my phase delay window is active, which is basically when I should be outside. And it also tracks the amount of steps that I take in that time. And I have noticed that when I walk outside in the morning within this phase delay window, which is I think like 1.5 to 2 hours after I wake up, I do feel better. I especially notice that if I wake up and, sometimes I'm like really overwhelmed. There's a lot of things I need to get done. And I just sit down at my desk. I don't feel great. But if I just take literally 20 minutes to go outside, walk a little bit, maybe go grab a coffee, then I feel 10 times better. And I actually, no joke, remember this from university when we studied circadian rhythms. Seeing sun first thing in the morning, or at least light if it's not sunny, is important because it resets your circadian rhythm. It basically tells your brain, hey, it's time to be awake. It's daylight outside. The day has started. Then your brain can actually start functioning properly. Your circadian rhythm, which is your body's internal clock, is regulated by light. And before you say, well, I get light from my phone, no, that is a very bad idea. When the first light you see in the morning is the blue light from your phone, it's not going to be a great day. Trust me, I've tried, okay? I've done trials. So a very simple solution, do not grab your phone first thing in the morning. put it away. Go outside for 20 minutes, go on a walk, go on a run, or just chill outside and read a little bit. And then continue with your day, everything as usual, and you will feel the difference. This is something I've talked about before when it comes to to-do lists, but I find this hack amazing if you struggle a lot with decision fatigue. So decision fatigue is when you are just making so many decisions in a day. At some point, it just becomes hard to make decisions. Like our ability to make decisions is just like a glass of water. If you keep pouring out the water, at some point there's gonna be no more water left, which is why it is very important to consciously make decisions. Like you're gonna probably make better decisions in the morning, maybe not first thing after you wake up, but while you're still fresh. And in the evening, your ability to make decisions is gonna be lower. However, there are so many micro decisions we need to make on a daily basis. And for this, I have a hack, which is a 2-minute rule. If there's a decision that would genuinely take 2 minutes to make it right now. If it's a big decision like, where to fly on vacation or what college to go to, do not rush this type of decision. But if it's something like, where are we going to go out to eat? Are we gonna go grab coffee next week? Yes or no? Should I respond to this person? Make the decision now, because otherwise you just have open tabs running through your brain and taking up a lot of mental capacity. The 2-minute rule kills the overthinking cycle even before it starts. So instead of, getting a message asking you whether or not you would like to grab coffee and then leaving it there to sit for 3 days and then constantly thinking about the fact that you need to reply to that person, just do it now. Decide. Do you want to go grab coffee with that person or not? And just answer. By this, you reduce your decision fatigue and you also have more mental space for things that actually matter. Like you could be using that brain power for more important things. And do not underestimate how important it is to save mental power for decisions that are actually necessary and actually really important and need to be thought out thoroughly. Get bored on purpose. I know people hate to be bored. I also hate to be bored. I think I'm naturally a person who just loves having a full calendar. Like if I don't have something to do literally every hour of the day, I feel bored, and I don't like that. I've recently, however, realized how important it is to be bored in order to be creative. Especially while writing my master thesis, I did not have a lot of time, and funny enough, I was really struggling making videos because I felt so uninspired and I never had any good ideas and I never felt really excited about the creative process, which is something I absolutely love about making videos because, there's a lot of creativity. You can do everything, you can edit in different ways, you can just add explosions every now and then if that's what you want to do. And because I was so busy for the last couple weeks, especially like 8-ish weeks, it's just been so hard. However, just being bored for an afternoon, I had one afternoon to be bored yesterday after I submitted my thesis. I mean, not even that. It was more like an evening. I just started feeling so refreshed and so inspired and so creative. I meditated a little bit. I wrote in my journal a little bit and I feel like it just got me in such a different headspace. So be bored. You can set a timer and just be bored for 10 minutes, or you can intentionally just go on a walk without headphones or without a book and just think about life for a second. And while it might feel unbearable and really annoying for the first time, it's actually gonna turn out great. Like, trust me, I've tried. I'm gonna keep this one super short because only you know what this is for you. Do one thing that you've been avoiding. If you need to schedule a doctor's appointment, do that. If you need to call someone back, do that. If you need to submit an assignment, do that. Whatever it is, however uncomfortable it is, I don't know, maybe you need to do your taxes, do that. Do the thing you've been avoiding so it doesn't run through your mind and again, take up mental space for no reason. Audit who you spend your time with. I've recently been thinking about this a lot because I realized that I've completely changed my circle of friends within the last, I think, 3 years. And this has positively impacted my life. I've talked about this before. I went through a very massive friendship breakup that kind of also changed other friendships that were kind of tied to this friendship. And while that was not fun, I think because of that, I actually got to meet a bunch of other amazing people. And I am so, so, so grateful for them. The people who you surround yourself with are so important. They can literally make or break your day or even your life. If you have people around you who are supportive and who are happy for you, you're gonna feel 10 times better. I remember defending my bachelor thesis and being really happy about it. And I was in my hometown and I asked my then best friend if she would like to come out to, celebrate it. Long story short, she didn't. 2 days ago, I sent my master thesis to my supervisor just for him to check before I can officially submit it. And afterwards, I was so happy because, that meant that I had the document fully ready. And I texted my friends here, and they were immediately like, no, we need to celebrate this. This is a huge thing. We need to go out for a spritz. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I still feel so stressed about it. It's not like officially submitted. I don't know if it's going to be good. And they were like, no, it's going to be amazing. Just come out with us. Like, they were out shopping. They were like, no, you need to come here and we need to celebrate. None of them had a lot of time. They all had to like head home because they were waking up at 5 a.m. the next day. But they sat down with me just to celebrate. These types of things can make the biggest difference in your life, because if you feel supported, you're more likely to do other amazing things. I'm not saying you cannot do amazing things without friends, because it's not always a choice to not have supportive friends. But if you do have unsupportive friends, maybe consider burning a bridge. I'm always a fan of burning the bridge, and I think it can always lead to better friendships in the future. You've probably heard this, working out is very important. I'm not gonna tell you to work out. I think you've heard this 10,000 times before, but work out in a way that you actually enjoy. There are so many sports nowadays. You have high rocks, you have running, you have swimming, doing triathlons, weightlifting, Pilates, yoga. Honestly, there's so much. If you're doing something you don't enjoy, or if you're struggling to work out consistently because you're not enjoying what you're doing, change it. This is the time. Middle of the year, just change whatever you've been doing. If you're not vibing with the sport you're doing, try something else. At least try it. Let me tell you something. You do not need to explain a no. If you feel uncomfortable with saying no, you need to practice it. If you feel uncomfortable every single time a friend asks you to hang out and you cannot make it and you have to say no, and then you start over explaining, practice saying no and nothing else. Just like, hey, I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it is fine most of the time. With friends, it's whatever. But in professional context, the people who over-explain a lot can come off as very unsure of themselves, very insecure, as if they're overcompensating for something. If you are over-explaining why you're saying no, to other people it can feel like you are kind of like asking permission to even be allowed to say no. And this is not a great way to set clear boundaries. If you want to stop people pleasing and start setting better boundaries, a no needs to be a no. Like, a no is friendly, it is professional, it is nicely communicated, it's not just screaming no in someone's face, but a no is firm and a no is not over-explained. Honestly, maybe this is because of my ring, but I'm low-key becoming obsessed with tracking metrics. I love seeing the graphs and the progress. I've been so resistant also to apps like Strava for such a long time, but I love the graphs and I love looking back at my activities and being able to see what I've done and on which day I did it, and also seeing the pictures and everything. But we're getting off track here. I know it can be problematic to have a very obsessive relationship with numbers, and I don't think that is healthy. I do not want to encourage anyone to like obsessively track all their fitness metrics or like track their weight or anything like that. But what I've been having a lot of fun doing is tracking my workouts. So I track them, using Strava. I just record the workout on my watch, and then I can see them on Strava, and then that also logs as a workout on my ring. Then also noticing what happens with my sleep after I work out. And I found out that I sleep way better after I do workouts. But for instance, I've also noticed that if I sleep less and maybe I go out, maybe I drink something, then my energy and my workout the next day is not as good as it could have been. Like, everyone knows, for instance, that alcohol affects your sleep, and it is maybe not great to drink alcohol the night before needing to run a lot or doing a very intense workout. I don't know why, but for some reason, I really thought I was immune to this. Like, I knew that this was a fact, but I really thought, like, no, it doesn't affect me that much. Looking at the nights where I drank before going on a run, I can now see that my pace was way slower and my heart rate was way higher. And also then my recovery was off. Seeing all of this for yourself, like seeing that does happen to you and to your body, actually helps you change some things. Like, now I'm way more aware of when I go out, because I also think about when I need to work out, and then I tend to arrange things in a better way. Once a month, you need to do a money reset. Look, I know most people, especially people in their 20s, avoid looking at their finances because it's uncomfortable and it's scary and like no one knows what they're doing. But like, where is this gonna lead you? Without knowing the flow of money, you cannot fix anything. You cannot save more. You cannot budget better. Because some people really do not know how much their salary is or how much they're spending on food in any given month. This is also not to stress yourself out. It's to be informed and to be able to make better financial decisions in the future. So I have a monthly tracker that I use. I'll link it down below. It's just a budgeting spreadsheet. It's one sheet. I duplicate it every single month and I just fill it in. And it gives me an overview of everything that went in, everything that went out, categorized with like savings, debt, bills, and all of that. Looking at this once a month and also noticing changes between previous months has helped me so much. I can allocate money way better to things that are genuinely a priority of mine. And I've noticed that I'm way more mindful about how I spend my money because I know that at some point I'm gonna check. Latest end of the month, I'm gonna check and I'm gonna know exactly where my money went. Besties, I know AI is taking over. AI is replacing us. What if you build one real skill? Something that you could genuinely use to make money or to have as a side hustle. 6 months is enough time to get honestly pretty good at something. Depending on the thing, you might even be able to like master it, like get great at it. If you would start learning how to edit videos right now, in 6 months, you could be editing the most amazing videos ever. Pick one skill you want to learn, something is gonna help you in your life or at work, and commit to it. Like actually, don't just watch a tutorial, to actually commit to it and see how far you're gonna get by the end of the year. Last one, and I feel like this is most important. We tend to talk a lot about goals, me included. I love goals, I love seeing numbers, I love tracking things. But in the end, all that matters is how you feel. So if you're gonna set an intention for the rest of the year, which I hope you do because you're watching this video and you should set an intention, don't only think about your goals, don't only think about all of the things that you want to do, don't only make checklists and to-do lists, but actually just think about how you want to feel. Yeah, this can tie back to actual goals and actual to-do lists, but how you feel is what makes it really worthwhile, and it's the only thing that truly matters at the end of the day or the year. With that being said, if you're enjoying this video, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.